Good morning. This is Jill Aronofsky. I'm SaipanStamper, and I hope you've been enjoying my weekly videos. I try to switch it up, and if there's anything you'd like to see highlighted, please let me know. I have a lot of supplies. Today, we're going to talk about and show you different techniques with the two-tone cardstock. It is currently on sale with Stampin' Up! From July 9th to the 11th, and it's 20% off. So that's a great deal. You should stock up on it. It's more lightweight to use than the regular cardstock, so it won't make your postage as much if you do a lot of layers like I do. Um, and so let's begin. I have a bunch of different style cards to show you. I kind of went a little out of my wheelhouse today, so I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed the fact that I did something a little bit different, so I can't wait to see how you like it. Let's go to the other screen and get started. Okay, so this is Lost Lagoon cardstock two-tone. It's 12 by 12. Like I said, they're 20% off for the 3 days only. This is a quantity of 12 pieces, and this one is Lost Lagoon and just the one color in the whole packet. So this has a slightly lighter tone here and darker on the front side. So you actually get like two different colors of Lost Lagoon when you buy the two-tone cardstock. And it's nice to use some on the same card as well. This one is a Celebrate Together two-tone cardstock pack. And this goes with the Cheers and Sips bundle suite that they have. There's also this color. Let me pull this out. So this one has a variety of colors. Fresh Freesia, Pool Party, Strawberry Slush. Not sure if that's Daffodil or Duckling. Cloud Cover, Blackberry Bliss. So you get a good selection here. This is a good way to start. You can buy the assortment packs if you don't want to buy the single packs yet. But let's get started. So first, I just got the Impression Abloom bundle, and I've been making some cute things with that, so I thought I'd try that today. It is the stamp set and dies, and there are lots of cool dies in here. There's ins and outs. That's just my little extras packet that I keep inside every one. It's got these nice ovals, and then die cuts for in and out of some of the leaves and flowers. You get stems, and then you get little texture. Be really careful with the little ones because I already lost my little texture like the first time I used it. So, lesson learned, you'd think. And then the stamps in here. So, the first card that I did for you was just to show you the simple tearing technique. When you tear the paper, you get a white edge. And I just kept this really simple. I like the card. I wasn't as happy with it as I thought. But it's cute, and I'm definitely going to send it to a friend, and I know she'll appreciate it. So that is just a nice way to add a little something. My oldest daughter loves the tearing technique. This one here, I did the same thing with the flowers. I cut them out, stamped them with the inside, pop dotted the middle with dimensions, and then used the die cut leaves. I used the saying that comes with it, thanks. And then these are Granny Apple Green Strawberry Slush. And for this background, I put it through the plaid embossing folder and then used my little really disgusting looking sanding block. But, of course, use the dark edge on the dark paper, then you're not, when you can just save a clean edge of the sanding block for something else. And that's all I did. And we'll do this later and I'll show you how that works. But it is fun and it just gives a totally different look. You also have two sides of this paper, so you could switch it over for of the two-tone paper. It's got a light and a dark. So you could switch it over and get another look from that too. Then I went totally left field, which is how my brain works. And I went to Darling Dinosaurs. And I just think this is a super cute set. So what I did with this one is I took two of the colors of the two-tone cardstock, and I cut them at the same width. I'll take one out. I'll do it. I'll show you how. Let's see what two colors would look nice. Let's use, actually, I'll just show it with one color. And then you can see the difference in the two tones. So I'm just going to cut it at 4 inches. And at 1.5. So I just picked a random amount. You can cut it at whatever you want, however wide you want the strips to be. I just wanted them to be kind of uniform. So, because that's how I am. Sorry about that jiggle there. Trying to reach a paper that I didn't expect to have to pull out today. Oops. So I'm going to move this to the side. And then what you do is just tear it down the middle, whether it's the blue or green or whatever color you have, and then put it down here. This one, I actually went from the top. I'm going to adhere it just so you can see how easy and fun this is to do. And then the next one, I want to put the light edge. And I'm just lining it up on one side. To the next one. And the dark. And I'm just going to alternate the two colors, put them in, and as you line it up, just make sure you don't have any little gap in the paper between that. And continue to go down the paper for as long as you want it. I did the whole background, but you could just do, something at the bottom for beach or ocean or something like that. So it's an easy, excuse me, technique. It's very rainy here in Saipan, and it just makes me cough. So sorry about that. So I want to go dark again with a darker color. And it looks, interesting and fancy, and it adds texture to the card. So I think that's a really cute background. I'm sure I'll cut a couple more pieces and make this into something and post it on Pinterest. So follow me there, please. Sorry about that. Had to get a drink of water. Okay. So then this one I just made as the background for my little dinosaur. And it didn't have enough contrast when I put it directly on here. So I put the circle behind it for some contrast because he's also colored a dark color. And then put the little saying on there. And it makes a cute little, oh. And then I took one of the spare strips and I put it at the bottom of the inside. and stamped the little birthday hat and colored it. So I think that just makes a cute little card. That looks like you put a lot of work, but it's really pretty easy. So then I took my impressions of Bloom and I went to here it is. Dang almighty, I can cover things up quickly. I went to the beautiful gallery, which doesn't seem to go with this at all. But I love this. I'm going to do one of my future online workshops using this paper and this suite. I do an online workshop on the fourth Saturday of the month, Saipan time, and you have to sign up for it before the 10th of the month. If you want to be on my newsletter and get that information, please just send me a message. I also do a local class on Saipan on the third Saturday of every month, and it's $8, and you get to come make 8 cards. Sorry, it's $30. You get to come make 8 cards and pick your own designs, and everything's ready and easy to do. So this is just beautiful paper, and it's a totally different style for me. So I was a little stumped starting to work for it, regardless of how much I love everything I've seen with it. It's still just really a switch for me. So congrats to me for trying to do this. So I thought, I would start with my very favorite color, new in color is Secret Sea. And I'm going to use this flower. Instead of stamping this with one color and over stamping this with the another and cutting it out, I decided I would just take some of the paper, the beautiful gallery paper. I chose this design and I just decided to die cut a couple of them. And this one, I just cut 2 at a time and cut out some of these images. So I have some extras of these. And this is the back side of the paper. So normally, right, this is beautiful. I've already made some sympathy cards with this one. But I just wanted this paper so that I could stamp something over it. So I tried first with, here it is. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the difference very well in this, but I stamped this one first with the Secret Sea, and I did this one with Night of Navy. The Secret Sea just looked too black when it was on the cloud cover base, and it just looked too depressing for a flower. I mean, not even for a sympathy card. It just looked wrong to me. Some people might like it. That's fine. That's why they make all these colors, so everybody will be happy. But I'm going to take my blue Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to stamp it with this stamp that I've already loaded on here because I've already been using it. I'm going to move this to the side. And so I've got a bunch of these. I want to just do some just in case some of them don't come out. And when I go to ink it, and I always line it up with this long flower here, flower petal, because that makes it easy to see what direction it's going to go in. I have a hard time to see through this to see if I'm getting it in the right place. So I usually keep a handy dandy piece of black paper on nearby so that I can line these up a little better. The good thing is, even if you don't get them perfectly straight, they still look great. So I'm going to put this long, skinny one at the bottom. Turn these so they're all facing the same way. Then I don't have to worry if I got them in the right place, because they've all got this one flower facing down, one flower petal. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. And that gives me a lot more contrast. And I just hold it above, get it as close as I can. Sometimes it's, really wonderful. Sometimes it's a little off. But nature isn't perfect either. So I'll stamp up a bunch of these. There. Do the last one, just so, just so. There. And then I was thinking about what to use as the inside color. So let me show you the other colors that I've decided to use in this. I used this sheet to make some green leaves. I just used the die cut on them. I didn't stamp them first. I just wanted it to look all very rustic. And these have, you can see a little bit on this one. You can see the color gradient where it's got some light and dark on it. The other side of this is this, which is, of course, something some people don't want to cut up, but sometimes that's what you do. And then I really love these pattern papers in there. I think they're just old looking. I grew up in a house that had tons and tons of antiques. That's all my parents did was go to antique shows. And so old stuff is kind of comforting and annoying to me at the same time. So I'm going to take the peach pie and I'm going to take our little inside dot. They make two different centers. They make one that's solid, and then they make one that has some highlight in it and some dimension. So I'm going to use that one because I'm already doing it on a pattern paper. I just think it looks nicer. So we plunk that in there. I think this is the easiest way to use the this two-step stamping. Cut it out first and then go ahead and stamp on it. It's much easier than having to stamp and then line it up in each time and cut one out. Okay, so I have these and I have some leaves. So I'm pretty much going to cover up the whole front of the card with paper anyways, but I'm going to do secrecy underneath, probably because I just want to use that. And where the heck my bone folder go? There we go. And make my card base so I can figure things out from here. So I'm going to put my images on a Lost Lagoon paper. Like this. See, that looks good already, right? And even though we use the Night of Navy, it looks great with the secrecy here. It's just better when you're stamping it on the darker background. So the Lost Lagoon, this is one of the two-tone cardstocks. Instead of running it through an embossing folder, I'm just going to crinkle it up and unfold it and crinkle it up a different way. Very therapeutic. Got aggression? Here we go. I don't know how my brain works sometimes. There it is. And unfold it, and you can do it just as much as you like. And then fold it out just by pressing on it and take your sanding block and just run it along. Start lightly. Always start lightly when you're removing the paper from it. The top color down to the white, because you can control the amount of white you get. And if I want a little more white here, I can turn my block up instead of doing it flat and make more white show up down there. So You think you're under control and it's just a piece of paper. So that's it. That's just, how you can get a background without picking out an embossing folder and running it through the machine. And it's fun. Get out a little aggression that way. So I'm going to use this behind here. And I want to put this on the edges. So I think I'm just going to cut. Let's see, this one was a 2.5 inch, and it's, by 6. I'm just going to trim the edges off. So if I do, oh gosh, now I can't do math in my head. 2.5 minus, I'm going to do 1 inch and 1 inch. Oh gosh, and I got to message it. Yeah, I got to check myself because 1 inch and 1 inch, that's what we're going to use. Whoops, that's 1.5. See what good did that planning do? 1 inch. Some days measurements are not my thing. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to put the wider one on the top and the shorter one on the bottom. And to adhere it, I want it to be adhered on one side, like it's going to be on the edge of the card. So I want the adhesive to stick to the edge of the card so that when they open it up, it just doesn't flap open. So I'm going to put it near one section. I'm not worrying about the other half because it's going to be underneath the middle section. I'm going to tape it on the edges. That's where I want my tape to be. I've got the tape on this edge and it's going to go on the edge of the card. This part sticks up, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to put something over it. I'm going to cut it from the back. It's nice and clean and even because that's my style. The winging it thing doesn't really work for me. Okay, I always have a plan, but my plan doesn't always come out like I think it's going to. So then we're going to put this inside. And I'm wondering if I should do a secrecy edge on here. And I think I might try that. So this is 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to make it. Let's go with 2 3/4 and see if that's good. This is why I make multiple cards, because once I come up with an idea, I want to send it to like everybody I know. And plus the fact that I also have sold my greeting cards at local stores for more than 10 years. So if you have any questions about doing that, I'm happy to help you. So this goes here. I think I like that. And these will go on here. Yep, that wins. So this is really all bumpy, right? So we have the choice. We can put liquid glue on there, but I'm going to use and hopefully the Seal Plus will work on it well, because sometimes when the paper is wrinkly, it'll pull back up. So success. I'm going to put it on here first. Whoops. There. Okay. Put it on here and then really flatten it down. You can also like use your phone folder to kind of flatten it out a little bit. And trim the edges. So I have been stamping a long time. I still do it every single day. I have tried many, many crafts in my lifetime and still do many other crafts, which seems a little obsessive. Um, and yeah, there's nothing I'd rather do than make stuff. So dimensionals. I think I'm going to put dimensionals on them both. So if that's not adhered, I'm going to also, I think I'm going to use glue on this. I wish I could explain why I use glue sometimes and sometimes not, but no rhyme or reason. Okay. I just love how this looks so rustic and old, even though it's brand new, but it's just charming. Okay, so then I'm going to put the flowers up here. One up, one down, overlapping. Very nice. I also cut these leaves two at a time, two papers together, because you probably could do three. The paper's very thin, so you can get multiple. But this has all these cuts in between, so it does make it a little bit difficult to pry them apart. But anytime I can put multiple dies or layers on in my machine, I do it as long as just don't force it if it doesn't seem like it wants to go in, because nobody wants to break an expensive machine. Okay, so just a glue dot in here, and because this has the little it's cut lines in it, I am not going to try to pick that up with my finger because for sure it's going to rip. Use the tip of my call it a pokey tool, pick tool. Put this on here. It's weird for me to make a flower that is like such a somber color, but I really like it. I really like this set. It appeals to me, and I think it's a lovely choice. There. One more leaf. We'll have to see. I think not. We're going to leave it a little bit uneven. I think that's a little better choice. And then I'm going to make it a thank you card. So I'm going to use my Knight of Navy again. And stamp thanks just in the corner of this piece. And then you can either cut it with scissors if you're comfortable, or use your trimmer. Guess which one I'm going to use, the trimmer, because it's exact. It is a little tricky when you get just a small piece, but if you go toward the edge instead of trying to get away from it, it comes out nicer. So I do get a little fuzzy edge. I'm not sure you can see it. Like that has a little bit of fuzz on the edges there from the cutter, and I don't know if it's because my blade's fairly new, so I'm not happy if that's the reason, but I think it's the high humidity in my area that makes it like that. So I just keep my sanding block handy and get that off of there. And then I'm going to put my stain down here. And I think I like this card very much. And now I'm wondering if I should put gems on it. So let's give it a go. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let me know what you think. I've got my in color gems here. They're so shiny. So I don't know how I'm going to like that contrast. Um, okay, let's do it. There. Okay. Do you like it? Let me know what you think. So lots of ways to use the two-tone paper. You can tear it to see the inside. And this is just the beginning. You can put it in the embossing folder and then use the sanding block or crumple it up. So I'd love to see what you make with it and enjoy. And I will see you next week. Thank you.